So obviously you've been seeing me wear the blue light glasses, right?
Yeah.
Well, they are from the Venturo collection, man. In terms of, with this company, they take a lot of pride in making sure that everything is done in-house. A lot of love, a lot of care. But more importantly, they don't do a ton of mass production. So when you talk about the quality of it, it's a lot nicer. They also do a ton of accessories and jewelry, right? Deke had a chance to see some of the watches that they make, and they're pretty daggone nice, might I
They're really
add.
nice.
Some of the jewelry, bracelets.
Well, I might need to get
necklaces.
some of those glasses, too, once I get LASIK coming up here, because those would be nice. A little blue light action.
Absolutely, man. But they also have, your regular sunglasses as well. But the thing that they do that sets them apart from other brands are their price point. They try to be very affordable while still giving you a nice feel, a nice quality, to their stuff and things like that. So with that being said, when we talk about them, we got promo codes, and that promo code is MOATS. If you use that, you'll get 20% off along with free shipping on at VenturoCollective.com. So you see it right there. So like I said, definitely want to check them out, show them some love. But, shout out to them. The accessory gang is fire. And like I said, it actually does help. I know for me, I like to keep my eyes working properly all this screen time I'll be having. So shout out to these blue lights, but more importantly, shout out to the Venturo Collective.
First, he says, I'm more frustrated with the penalties and the mental stuff that we're not doing offensively. You can't do it at this level, get behind the sticks, and we have the opportunity to make big plays. And we don't because penalties and things we can control.
Self-inflicted.
Keeps going on. Pickett on studying more, the playbook.
I did see that part.
We got to know what we're doing, not getting in the right spot, not having some procedural penalties, personnel, in and out of the huddle, all things we can control. There's no talent issues. Then one more, he says, not detailed. Guys need to know what we're doing. We need to study more. I don't think we study enough as a group. There's way too many penalties and stuff like that, which we can control. It's all mental. For that to happen, there's really no excuse for that.
So that sounds like what we just said. In terms of lacking the detail, do I know if I'm supposed to be on or off, right? I don't know. Let me just get in the middle right here. All right. Am I supposed to have this right here? Like, is that on coaching, though? And that's the question that we got to ask ourselves. And the 50-50 people are going to, if you want to make it a coaching issue, you put it on them. To me, I feel like your players have to be professional. You are paid to do this. We laughed at Kyler Murray, right? When that was in his contract. Hey, man, study X amount of time, right? We laughed at it. Didn't we? We laughed at it. But as you can see, this is not just a Kyler Murray issue. This is not just a one-team issue.
People are worried about him
this
for
happens,
the second half with this new Call of Duty coming out.
Hey, man, wifey had a discussion with me last night about the day going.
How is it? It's pretty good,
bro.
Huh?
I'm obsessed.
I heard it's so realistic.
Bro, it is amazing. Wifey looked at me last night. She's like, "Bae, I can't stand this game." I was like, "Why, love?" I was like, you should be happy. Like, I don't bother you at night. Usually I'm over here, sometime the research ahead and I get all touchy-feely, Deke. You know what I'm saying? She be over here like, dang, you only focus about the game now. I'm like, hey, look, love, look. All right, you want me to be more understanding anyways, right? I'm giving you some time off. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I be loving the game, man, but she is not really feeling it right now. And yes, after trick-or-treating tonight, I will be back on said game, man. Anybody can get the smoke. You already know what time it is, baby. But, yeah, man, it's fire, bro. It is fire. But this is something that is legitimate in the sense of the study time matters. And what Kenny is speaking on specifically in terms of individual study time and group study time, they do matter. And I will explain in like this. As a professional, I would study by myself to make sure that I knew what I needed to know, right? In terms of where I need to align every person that's around me, right? What is my D-line doing? What are my inside linebackers doing? What are my safeties and corners doing, right? Big understanding. Then it was, what is the offense doing? I had to do that on the front end. But we would still meet together as a unit after every practice.
What are you seeing? What am I seeing?
Absolutely, because now we're going to compare and contrast our notes. If I'm telling, hey, man, every time I get 3x1, they're running bubble screen, slant, or they're giving me a power out the run, or they're giving me toss weak. So this, I know every play is coming out of this formation, and you're over here like, bro, well, when they go in 21 personnel, I'm getting flip at 9, I'm getting play action, I'm getting naked boot. Well, now when we get in here together, I might not have had a chance to see that. I might have overlooked it. I might just not have looked at it. And now you bring that, and I'm giving you mine, and now we're on the same page. Now we're speaking the same language. So now you might not have known about 3-by-1 information. But now when you get it, because I've shared my notes with you, now you're hype on that. Hey, yo, Boats, this the one, right? I'm like, yup, let's get it. Oh, it's 2-by-1. Oh, Deke, this. And you're like, yeah. And we're on the same page. We're playing fast. But when you're not like that, when you're not in sync, you might be seeing it, and you're like, bro, come on, man, this. And I'm over here like, Deke, what are you talking about? And then the verse is, hey, Deke, this is the place to play. And you're like, bro, what? Disconnect. Because I got this information, but I haven't shared it with you. And that's why when we talk about being professional, when you're talking about doing this at a high level, all of that matters. I don't want to sound like an old person, but that's what it be like at times, man, because you do have to take that craft serious. And as you've heard, when you hear me talk about the league average, right? 2.5 years. 2.5 years because you have a ton of athletes. Everybody's a great athlete. You're either super big, super strong, super fast. And you can survive for about 2 years on your athletic ability alone. But after that, everybody's athletic. So how do you separate? How do you have longevity? And it becomes you understanding this part. When you can outthink them, when you can anticipate versus having to react. That's how you steal this step, because it's literally a game of inches. And think about the difference between Akello today is him being a couple of inches off, disrupting those passes to A.J. Brown versus him being a couple inches short and A.J. Brown catching the passes. It is literally that tight.
It's 14 points.
Yeah. So when you're talking...
And Minka picking that one off.
Yeah. So when you're talking about...
That's 21 points.
So when you talk about how do you live, how do you survive in this league, is Akello a better cover guy athletically than Edmonds? Yes. But who had more detail in those scenarios? Akello versus Edmonds doing what? All right. I might not feel like I can get the PBU, but what I can do is play through your hands. So once you put them hands up, I'm coming through that. What I can do is attack this arm right here. Those are little details. And in that moment, he's more comfortable there because big understanding. Not saying that Akello doesn't study like that, but just in those contexts, the little things. When you take it to the offense side of the ball, what Kenny is referring to at times. Man, if this guy actually knew when you're pulling around, you're not going to see anybody right now. Don't look outside. The guy's coming from the inside, though. That little detail is the difference between pull, Najee get the ball, receiver looked here, late coming back here, guy beats him inside TFL. That little detail. So when you're talking about the studying part, did the guy run the play right? Yes. Was he aligned right? Yes. Did he pull in the right direction? And was there a guy for him to block? Did he do everything correct? Yes, he technically did. But he didn't have the little understandings of the little parts of, if it is not this corner sitting right here, it's going to be this safety coming from over here. And because they don't understand that ahead of time, you are doing what? Instead of anticipating him not being there and looking here already. So when I come right here, I'm waiting on it. He's reacting to it. So I'm coming right here. I'm like, oh, I don't see him. Oh, dang, this was him. But it's too late. That is the studying. That is the little details. But we can put it on Matt Canada because it's easy, right? It's easy to just say, oh, that's a Matt Canada issue right there, man. You got to call a better play, man. Why are you running this? And that's easy to do, to say, but that doesn't make this team better because that isn't a play call issue right there. That is a execution issue. That is a little detail issue. And that's all we've been, or at least for me, I'm not a Matt Canada apologist. I can assure you that I am not, because he has plenty that he has to get better at as well. But when I look at this team, it's just like, man, why do we just circle Canada and say it's him when it's like, bro, it is way more than just him. It is like legit, man. And that's the frustrating part to me, at least. But when you lose in the way we losing and everybody's having their hand in it, this is kind of what we deal with.
Pickett's comments, good, right?
I did
Showing
like it.
Leadership.
Absolutely. That's
some
what you
people
want.
are trying to make it seem like, oh, he's the rookie quarterback. He needs to know his plays.
It's called
But nah.
accountability.
Yeah. I feel like if he's seeing something wrong
Mm-hmm.
in terms of just how the offense is operating, how we're not all together, we're not just together, like coherent, on the same page, like we're seeing from the Eagles.
Yeah.
Someone's got to step up, and he's the quarterback. I mean, that goes hand in hand with the job. So I think it's a pretty good thing.
And you know what else I like too? Most times as a player, you don't ever want to talk about guys not studying because guys get defensive. Guys take it personal because they get embarrassed at the fact they're not being professional.
We're seeing it show up on the field, though.
Exactly.
So he ain't saying anything that you're not even saying just from watching on TV.
But think about this, though. Prior to him saying that, it was so easy to just say it's a Matt Canada issue. That's all I'm saying. But when we talk about big understanding globally in terms of like, yo, this isn't a bad call. This is bad detail. That's what he's referring to when you're talking about the lack of studying, when you're talking about not being on the same page, not understanding the little details. People don't want to hear that because that isn't as simple. That's not as just fire this guy and everything is better. Or just pull this quarterback and everything. Remember, that was a conversation, right? If you pull Mitch out, man, put this guy in, we're fine. Well, Mitch ain't blocking this dude on the edge right here. Mitch ain't got to hold up against Javon Hargrave. Mitch ain't got to pick up Hassan Reddick right here. That's like, those are some of the stuff, man. But until this team operates with that type of urgency, that type of detail, we're going to continue to feel like this. We're going to continue to point fingers, and we're going to continue to lose games. And that's the unfortunate part. But hopefully, going forward, they can change that, man.
Well, I was going to say, with Pickett
they got an opportunity. Absolutely.
There's got to be some type
they got
of
opportunity,
fork in the
man.
road here.
Come on now.
Throughout the bye, throughout the week leading up to the Saints game, maybe there are going to be some extra group study sessions.